North Korea has said it still wants to sit down for talks with the United States at any time, at any format, despite President Donald Trump abruptly canceling his planned summit with Kim Jong Un. The POTUS canceled the highly anticipated meeting yesterday after blaming tremendous anger and open hostility by Pyongyang. Ronaldinho denies he's getting married to his two girlfriends at the same time. If the meeting, scheduled for June 12, had held the promise of a historic peace deal but also the risk of diplomatic meltdown. Despite President Trump's change of heart, North Korea issued a statement today saying it is still willing to give the U.S. time and opportunities to reconsider talks at any time, at any format. Vice Foreign Minister Kim Jong-un called Mr. Trump's decision unexpected and very regrettable, and said the cancellation of the talks shows how grave the status of historically deep-rooted hostile North Korea-US relations is and how urgently a summit should be realized to improve ties. In a letter to Mr. Kim announcing his decision to back away from the summit, Mr. Trump pointed to America's vast military might and warned the rising nuclear power against any foolish or reckless acts. The letter kicked off a day of mixed messages by the president, who declared hours later that, "I really believe Kim Jong Un wants to do what's right." U.S. students tell us about how the fear of gun violence impacts their lives, and, after that, a senior White House official said the North lacked judgment and had reneged on its promises ahead of the summit. Mr. Trump said from the White House that a maximum pressure campaign of economic sanctions and diplomatic isolation would continue against North Korea, with which the U.S. is technically still at war, but he added that it was possible the summit could still take place at some point. The president's surprise exit capped weeks of high-stakes brinkmanship between the two unpredictable leaders over nuclear negotiating terms for their unprecedented sit-down. The U.S. announcement came not long after Mr. Kim appeared to make good on his promise to demolish his country's nuclear test site. But it also followed escalating frustration from North Korea over comments from Trump aides about U.S. expectations for the North's denuclearization. The senior U.S. official said the North violated a pledge to allow international inspectors to monitor the supposed implosion of the site on Thursday. International journalists were present, but the U.S. government cannot verify the site's destruction. Russian President Vladimir Putin, a staunch Kim ally, said the North Korean leader had in fact done everything that he had promised in advance, even blowing up the tunnels and shafts of his country's nuclear testing site. Mr. Putin said of Mr. Trump's announcement, "In Russia we took this news with regret." Mr. Trump, in his letter to Mr. Kim, objected specifically to a statement from a top North Korean foreign ministry official. That statement referred to U.S. Vice President Mike Pence as a political dummy for his comments on the North and said it was up to the Americans whether they would meet us at a meeting room or encounter us at nuclear-to-nuclear showdown. Mr. Trump said he had spoken with military leaders, as well as Japan and South Korea, and stressed that the United States was prepared for any threat. Still, Mr. Trump's announcement appeared to surprise South Korea, which had pushed to keep the summit on track as recently as Tuesday, when President Moon Jae-in met with Mr. Trump in the Oval Office and said the fate and the future of the Korean peninsula hinged on the talks. More, watch these LGBTQ flags become bulletproof in anti-violence protest. President Moon said on Thursday that it was trying to figure out Mr. Trump's intentions in canceling the summit. Mr. Trump was briefed on Wednesday night and made the decision to exit on Thursday morning after consulting with top advisors, including Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and National Security Advisor John Bolton, to whom he dictated the letter, said the senior official. The question now is how Mr. Trump's maneuvering will be received. His letter could make the situation worse in a society where saving face can be pivotal. Mr. Kim might well take offense at the hard-nosed U.S. approach after he released American detainees and destroyed a nuclear site. Singapore said it regrets the cancellation of the summit that was to be held there next month. More photos share the journey of AI sex robots from steel skeletons to the bedroom. Woman casually orders McDonald's with her whole bum on display after night out in Mallorca.